Hello Virgo, and welcome to my channel, Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements, looking at your recent past to current energy and your immediate future, answering the question, what do you need to know right now in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self? Friendly reminder that these are general readings and they are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So do please remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation and to leave what does not. Last thing is that any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading or coaching session with me or on my upcoming workshop is in the description box below, and there will be more on that upcoming workshop at the end of this video. All right, Virgo. We're going to start with looking at overall energy for your past, present, and future energies, and then we'll dive deeper into the story with tarot as we progress. But first, let's look at your recent past. Let's see what we've got here. What has Virgo been dealing with? A time for healing. Whoa. Time to release a time. So a time for healing. It's time to release negativity. Have faith in your dreams, and prosperity lies ahead. So I feel like I'm speaking to a Virgo who has been going through some sort of like healing journey, I guess, if I was going to sum it up. Some sort of maybe a spiritual awakening or just kind of a personal awakening. And I feel like you've been dealing with probably a lot of really uncomfortable emotions, feelings, just in general. Things feeling a little bit overwhelming. And that might even be a bit of an understatement. But I feel like it's all taking you to good things because you do have prosperity lies ahead with have faith in your dreams. So I do feel like it might not be the most fun right now because you do have your hard work is paying off too. So wherever, the work that you're putting in, I do feel like is going to take you to some pretty cool places. So let's see what we've got about your current energy here. Overall energy for Virgo. A time to give rather than take. So, which is a new moon in Virgo card. So this is a period of investment, and I feel like you've been on some sort of journey for a while. Yeah, nothing is set in stone. Conclusions are within reach with a look at the bigger picture. And I feel like you're starting to doubt that this is going to take you to where you want to go. I feel like this is an energy of putting in a lot of work, but not yet seeing the results. And I know from experience how frustrating that can be when you feel like you're doing all the right things, but it's not taking you, to where you want to go, or you're not where you want to be yet. I feel like it's important for you to know that you are still in the middle of a journey. And with this, conclusions are within reach. I feel like you're closing out, a certain phase of that journey, which is going to allow for new beginnings in some way. So I feel like it's important to not allow yourself to give up right now. I think if that's the best way I can describe that. So what does Virgo need to know moving forward? Because things are going to change for the better. They are. But it's, it does take time. And I feel like it's taken a lot of time here for you. So I can understand the frustration, but what does Virgo need to know moving forward? Whoa. A personal issue reaches resolution. Ooh, don't let pride get in your way. Bring love into the situation with surrender to the divine. Okay. So this, I feel like, is what you're waiting for. Some sort of issue in your life. It feels like there's a specific outcome that you're really desiring, or an opportunity, or something that you've really been working for here. And that's what I feel like you're the most frustrated about, is feeling like this specific thing isn't coming to fruition. No matter how much you've been working and putting in that energy. But I feel like that's this happening. Like this is whatever it is that you're desiring, this is this happening. But there's a but. I had someone comment, there's always a but. There's always a but, yeah. It might happen in a way that's different than what you're expecting. But it's happening. It's still going to happen. I don't know what this is even talking about. I feel like we'll get more when we look at tarot. But I do feel like this is like getting what you want. Like if I were to summarize it, this is getting what you want. But embracing the journey for what it is, because the journey is necessary to get you here, for sure. So, yeah, and then I just shuffled, and you have a win-win outcome as forecast. I don't know what is all over this table. Some of it's dog hair, and some of it's just this, like, white fuzz. All right. Overall theme of this reading for you, Virgo. So this kind of ties together, okay, like summarizes the overall energy, if you will. And I feel like it kind of gives me an outline to work with in this reading, because this is like, what is Spirit really, trying to bring forth with this reading, like the purpose of the reading, if you will. New life, okay, boundaries, new moon, a lot of new, so new experiences, new opportunities, new cycles, new people, new places. You're being asked to really stand your ground right now when it comes to not falling back on your healing. Because I feel like you've come too far to only come this far kind of thing. And I feel like that's where this boundaries card is really coming to play, is the universe is like, Spirit is saying, you have so much to look forward to, and all of this work that you've put in is going to pay off. But standing your ground and creating that is going to be really important. There's this graphic. It's like seared into my mind. I don't know why, but it's something that I've really, I've experienced a lot in my own personal life too. It's like you see some progress, and then you experience like a setback or a challenge, and then that's where some people give up. And then you experience some more progress, and then some sort of setback or challenge, and that's where a lot of people give up. And then you experience some progress, and then you experience a setback or a challenge. You're not yet where you want to be, and then that's where most people give up. And most people tend to give up right before it happens. Most people get off the journey, or they give up on themselves, or they go back to something, old cycles, old habits, old patterns, or, whatever the case is. And I feel like you've been on this up and down, right? You've been on this roller coaster, maybe seen some progress and some setbacks, progress and some setbacks, and you're tired of it. You're ready to you just want to you want to experience the outcome. But remember, it's not about the journey, it's about the destination, right? First and foremost, but I know it's easier said than done. But I feel like it's important to not give up on your path and on the journey that you're on at this time. Now, I don't really feel like I'm speaking to a Virgo that is going to give up, to be honest with you. But I do feel like you're needing to understand that on the path to the things that we desire, we're going to experience setbacks, obstacles, and challenges. It's going to happen. If anything is certain on your path, you are going to face setbacks, obstacles, and challenges. But the way in which you approach setbacks, obstacles, and challenges determines whether or not you get to where you're trying to go, or you either end up at the beginning or you repeat old cycles. Because if you experience a setback, an obstacle, or a challenge, and you look at that as proof that you can't have the things that you deserve and desire, you might sabotage, you might quit, you might give up, whatever. And I feel like in this, Spirit is saying you have come too far to only come this far. And yes, it's taking time, but it's going to be worth it. And I feel like it's like you're going to get what you want. Like I do genuinely feel like things are going to work out for you here. But it's up to you. So let's see, Virgo, what do we've got with this recent past energy? What has Virgo been dealing with? Because, yeah, you've been on this journey, I feel like, for a while. Letting go of things that aren't serving you, making room for things that are, and you're like, but where are the things that are serving me? I've let go of so much, but where's the good stuff? What else does Virgo need to, or what does Virgo need to know about this past energy? I guess, yeah, what else, considering we've already kind of gone over it, but let's just see. Yeah, there's the Knight of Wands, and I feel like this is, you're in the middle of a leap of faith. I feel like this is really putting yourself out there, like taking a chance on some sort of new direction in your life. And it's a really beautiful energy, actually, because I feel like, yeah, because there's the High Priestess is very, like following your intuition, putting yourself out there, taking a risk. You haven't seen the results yet. 5 of Wands, 4 of Pentacles in reverse. And I feel like there's some instability, maybe struggling with money or struggling with security in some way. And that's natural. That's normal. It's part of the process. Something that I've really learned is that when we choose to pursue like a path, we're letting go of things that aren't serving us and opening up to better things, we're going to experience our fear, our doubt, and our insecurity in real time. We're going to experience things that happen that make us wonder or make us doubt, essentially, doubt ourselves. That make us wonder, like, am I doing the right thing? Should I have, just held on to old things? And that resistance isn't, a lot of people are like, I feel like spirit is testing me, or I feel like the universe is testing me. And how I like to view it is you literally experiencing all of the things that kept you stuck and what doesn't serve you in the first place in real time. Your fear, your doubt, your insecurity, and rising above that is the key. And I feel like that's what this energy is about, because this is what you've been dealing with. So you've been dealing with this for a while. You've been on this path to better things and, doing the healing, putting in the work, and not seeing the results, right? The not seeing the results part immediately is where your fear is going to rise. Your insecurity is going to rise. Your doubt's going to rise, right? Like, you're going to experience things that are going to come up that are going to make you almost feel as if your fears are true. The fear that I'm never going to have anything better, the fear that I'm going to fail, the fear that this isn't going to work. Like, there are going to be things that happen that make you feel as if those things are true. And the way in which you approach it determines what you create. I actually just told this story in the Capricorn Extended because there was some energy that kind of aligned with it a little bit, but I feel like it aligns even more with this energy. When I first started my business, and I'm not just a tarot reader, I do spiritual coaching, I'm a speaker, I do workshops, there's a lot of other things that I do. But when I was first starting this business, I quit my job I was currently at that time in real estate, out of the blue, to pursue it. And it was a really, this applies to the energy. I'm not just talking about myself to just talk about myself, but I took a leap of faith, and I was broke as hell in the very beginning. I was barely scraping by. I was living with my husband at the time, but we weren't married. We were just dating, and we were barely getting by. And during that period of time, I experienced a lot of insecurity and fear arising, obviously, right? Like, is this going to work out? Was this stupid? Should I have stayed at my old job and, just allowed this to build slowly over time? And, I had so much doubt and so much insecurity. And then during that period, I also had a lot of job offers arise. So I had a job offer to go back to work in real estate. I had a job offer to do what I had done before, which was financial advising. I had a job offer to coach gymnastics. I had a job offer to manage one of my mom's businesses. Like, there were so many things that arose during that time, and it was really interesting because I was watching it happen, and I was like, this is what, like, the universe is literally putting things in my path and going, are you going to give up on your dreams? Are you going to give up on your path? Or are you going to trust that this is the right path for you, that you're meant to do this, that you're capable of it, that you're supported in this, and that things are going to work out? Like, I literally remember, and I had done, enough healing and growth by this point where I could see it. It was like I literally saw it happening. And so I said, I turned down every single one. This happened in the span of 2 months when we could barely pay the bills. And I'm very blessed to have a supportive husband who, was willing to work with me on that, because we were both pretty scared. But I kept moving forward. And then it was like things got a little bit better, and then things got a lot better. And then eventually I was running a thriving business, and I realized that it was almost as if I was giving this opportunity to believe my fear, to believe that I wasn't going to have what I need, to believe that the universe wasn't going to provide, to believe that things weren't going to work out. And I had the option to either trust that fear or to trust my faith. And I feel like that's where you're at right now. You're kind of in the crossroad. You have a lot of fear rising, a lot of doubt. And yes, this is past energy, but like I said, I feel like you've been on this journey for a while. A lot of fear, a lot of things, reasons to second guess, reasons to doubt yourself, reasons to doubt your path. Like all of those things are arising. And it's the goal is to keep moving forward, to not go back to old things. Current energy for Virgo. So what does Virgo need to know right now? And that's what I saw with boundaries and new life, right? Like standing your ground. And it was really hard for me to do. And I can tell you, during that period of my life, there was a lot of things that I had to make a lot of mistakes and to learn that those opportunities weren't what was right for me. Like, don't get me wrong, I doubted for sure that I was doing the right thing or on the right path a lot. But I chose to keep moving forward, and eventually it paid off. So what does Virgo need to know right now? Current energy for Virgo, please. And I feel like, honestly, your current energy is just more of your past energy. And that's why I feel like you're really frustrated and really starting to doubt here. I like this, though. You have the Two of Cups. You have the Ace of Pentacles. Oh, my gosh, Virgo. You, right now is a time to, yes. Okay, Two of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, Lovers. It's a time to really make sure, okay, how do I say this? That you are showing up for yourself in a way that you never have before. Like, right now, ask yourself, what would the most confident version of myself do? What would the most deserving, like, what, if I knew that I was deserving of all the things that I desired, what would I do? If I knew I was fully supported by the universe right now and having the things that I deserve and desire, what would I do? What choices would I make? What path would I take? That's what this energy is about for you. It's about tapping into what it is that you're wanting to create and asking yourself, what version of me do I have to step into in order to create these things? And funny enough, this is actually what this manifestation workshop that I'm going to talk about at the end of this reading is all about, is the embodiment. When we're trying to create the life that we desire, it requires us to embody the person that we need to become to create it. And that happens over time, because we have an option in any moment to respond in one of two ways. We can respond with fear, we can respond with faith. And if you were to boil it down even more, you could respond with the fear that you're not deserving of the things that you desire, or you could respond with the belief that you are, and that you're supported, and that you're guided, and that you're capable of creating those things. And you're not going to make 100% of your choices over here. Just no matter who you are, you're not going to be perfect. But it's about making more decisions from a place of faith, more decisions from a place of believing you're deserving, more decisions from a place that you're capable and supported and guided than you do from a place of fear. Because you're not going to be perfect, okay? No one's perfect. You're not supposed to be perfect, and you don't have to be perfect to get to where you're trying to go. So please know that there are going to be moments where your fear gets the best of you. There's going to be moments where you doubt. There's going to be moments where your insecurities get the best of you. But you have come so far. You've done the healing. You've done the work. You've made the progress, right? Which is going to require you to make decisions from this new version of you. You're kind of like leveling up, if you will, right? But it's not about one decision or two decisions. It's about the accumulation of those decisions. How many decisions can you make from a place of faith, from a place of believing that you're worthy and deserving? And the more that you focus on making those decisions, the more you're going to create that reality. What you don't realize is that you're living in the opportunity. Okay, you might be like, no, I don't have the opportunity yet. You are creating it as we speak. You're creating the opportunity for the thing that you desire as you show up for it right now. If you show up for it believing that you're worthy, that you're deserving, that you're capable, you are going to receive it. So, and I feel like that's what this Two of Cups is all about, is it's that connection to yourself. We have I literally see it in this. We kind of have that light side, we have that shadow side, okay? There's going to be, at all moments, you have many different versions of you, okay, within you, that live within you. And you are not one or the other, you are all of them. So there's going to be the version of you that fears, the version of you that doubts, the version of you that second guesses, the version of you that, is afraid of failure, whatever. That version of you is valid, right? That's based on all of the things that you've been through and just everything, right? But then there's a version of you, think of it as like your higher self, if you will. This version of you believes you're worthy and capable and deserving and supported by the universe. You are not one or the other, you are both, okay? And both of those versions of you are important and they matter. But what's important to recognize is that in any moment, you're probably going to, your first reaction is probably going to be through the lens of this version of you. Your fear, your doubt, your insecurity, believing that you're not supported by the universe. And the goal isn't to just shut that version down and say, oh, you're so stupid. It's to bring this other version in and to make you realize, no, of course you're fearing. Of course you're doubting. It's natural. It's normal. But you can believe. You can move in faith. You can trust yourself. Like, that's what this phase, if I could break it down like into the individual energy that you're experiencing, I feel like that's what this phase of your life is really about. It's trying to show up as your higher self in this, like, you know, trusting version of you, more so than the version of you that doubts and fears, which is hard. And that's how you become what it is you wish to attract, which is literally, like I said, it's kind of funny that this reading is coming through the way that it is, because it is literally what my workshop is all about, which I feel like I felt very guided to do this workshop, because I do feel like there's probably some people out there that are needing to hear it. Like, I felt very much like Spirit was like, this needs to be heard. So it makes sense why it would be coming through in a collective reading as well. So, all right, what does Virgo need to know moving forward? You have a personal issue, reaches resolution with surrender to the divine. Walk the talk. Walk the talk. Well, there's more to it than that. 7 of Cups. I mean, this literally, because there's a lot. Yeah, there you are. King of Pentacles. There's the 10 of Pentacles. Okay. There's a lot that you're never going to be able to predict. Okay. You're never going to know exactly when things are going to work out, exactly what they're going to look like. You're just never going to know that. But what you do have control over is how you show up, right? And the more that you show up for the things that you desire, the more that you create it. So instead of focusing on when's it going to happen, how's it going to happen, focus on showing up for it, choosing to believe you're worthy, choosing to believe you're deserving. You know, in each moment when you have an opportunity, standing your ground in the things that you deserve. Because Spirit is saying it's going to happen when you align with it most. And when you align with, and that's what divine timing is all about. Divine timing isn't, a certain day and time, like, it's supposed to happen on, Thursday, April, whatever. That's not divine timing. Divine timing is when you align your energy with it fully. When you are thinking, acting, believing, and showing up for what it is you wish to create. So the more that you focus on those things, the more that you focus on your thoughts, making sure your thoughts are aligning with, I don't like the idea of positive thinking, because I think that a lot of times that can be taken as toxic positivity, but more so, instead of saying everything is working out for me and I'm perfect and happy all the time, being able to say, I am supported and guided by the universe. I am fearful, sure, but I also know that Spirit has my back. Things don't feel like they're working out for me, but I know if I look at the bigger picture, they are. I might not be able to see it right now, but I know that things are working out for me. That's, thinking in that way is going to shift the way that you believe and the way that you show up, but then acting in accordance with that too. That's what the embodiment is all about. Spirit is saying it's your outcome of getting what you desire. That is certain. Okay, that already exists. It's in your energy field. It's out there for you. You're capable of it, but you showing up for it and stepping into that energy of creating it as more times than you don't is what is going to create it. So that's why, going back to what I said in the current energy, I was like, I feel like right now is a time to show up. If you were asking yourself, what version of me, or what decisions would I make right now if I knew I was supported and guided and that it was possible? What would I do right now? And I feel like that's really important, because that's what I feel like, that's because if we get too attached on a certain outcome, because going back to what I said, I still feel things might work out a little different than you have planned. So instead of forcing the outcome and trying to, make something specific happen, it's facing it moment by moment, making sure you're showing up for your worth, you're setting your boundaries, you're, standing up for what you deserve. And the more that you do that, the more that you create what it is. You don't have to worry about how it's going to happen, when it's going to happen, because that's none of your business. The who, what, when, where, why, or the who, what, when, where, how, that's none of your business. That's Spirit's job. You don't have to worry about any of that. What you have to worry about is showing up for it in your energy in the little moments. I'm going to hop on over to the extended. We're going to dive deeper into this, looking at what you can do right now. So breaking it down into some more tangible advice. And then I've got an advice card to pull for you at the very end from your spiritual team. But as promised, I do want to talk about this workshop. And funny enough, like I said, it makes sense that it's coming through in a collective reading. But it is all about the secret to manifesting, which is embodiment. I think that a lot of us put in the work. We do the vision boards, and we think positive, and we visualize, but we don't see things happening, and we wonder why. And I did that for a really long time too. I had it all planned out exactly how things were going to work, and I manifested like crazy, but I wasn't seeing the results. And if I would receive something, it would fall apart, and I couldn't figure out why I wasn't able to receive the things that were really meant for me and then sustain them. And this workshop is about learning, or is about breaking down how I learned how to manifest, which was not about, the quick fixes of positive thinking, affirmations, things of that nature, but about embodiment, and what that really means, and breaking down the psychology behind manifestation and all of that. So I'm really excited about it. It's going to be on Friday, April 25th at 6 p.m. Central Time. But if you can't make it live and you purchase a ticket, you will also receive the recording. So a ticket gives you both access to the live event and also gets you a recording of the event itself that would be sent out the next day. So any information for that is at the very top of the description box below. I have put a cap on this one. I usually do, but this one's a lot lower because I want the space to be a little bit more intimate. So tickets are selling fast, just something to keep in mind. They'll probably still be available for, I would say, another week or so. But if that's something that you feel interested in, definitely get yours sooner rather than later. Okay. Thank you guys so much, as always, for your support of my channel. I do obviously hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, I wish you nothing but love and healing and all of the wonderful things that you deserve and desire on your journey moving forward. All right. Bye, Virgo.